Hi everyone and welcome to Ctrl-Alt-Craft. Rose with you, and today we have a craft video. Yay! They're so few and far between. This one is a sped up version of me doing some weaving. So it's not so much a tutorial as such, but I am going to try and, I guess, give some handy information or helpful hints along the way. So I will leave links down below in the description to the place where I bought all the supplies I needed for this. It is an Australian supplier, an Australian website. So if you're watching this and you're from overseas, then I apologize. It's probably not very handy, but I will try and provide all that information for you. So to start off with, I am currently threading what we call the warp. W-A-R-P. The warp is the thread that runs vertical, runs lengthwise up and down the frame, and it is what we weave the rest of this yarn in and out of. And it is 4-ply cotton yarn that I'm using. They recommend 4-ply cotton yarn because it needs to be thin. Obviously it's not the center of attention in the weave, but also it needs to be strong. So, yeah, like it needs to be strong enough not to break when you pull it tightly, but it shouldn't be too tightly woven either. As you see here, I'm sort of fixing it up. I'm trying to tighten it up. But at the end of the day, I should be able to strum it, kind of like a guitar, I guess, without too many problems. So there you go. And the yarn that runs through it that I'll weave in and out of it is actually called the weft, the W-E-F-T. These are all really weird names, I know. And that'll be 8-ply, just acrylic yarn, and also some chunky yarn that's not really so much yarn as it is just kind of fiber that I'm using throughout the project as well. So it's just a bit of fun. It's my first ever wall hanging weave that I've officially done. I did one on the channel a little while ago that was not very well made for my jacket, a denim jacket weave that I did, which I still love, but now that I've learnt a few more tips and tricks, I feel like I should go back and fix it, but oh well. Now see here, as I'm weaving the weft through the weave, there's too many W words. That's the problem. Whoever picked this terminology didn't stop to think that there's too many W's. Anyway, as I'm weaving the yarn, the weft through the warp, oh yuck, you can see that I'm not pulling it tightly. See here, I'm pushing it through, and then I actually create a bit of a bubble or a semicircle with the yarn, and then I push it up against the flat with a comb. This stops it from warping, and I guess if you pull it too tightly, it just becomes skinnier and skinnier and skinnier throughout the weave. So you've got to try and allow it to be loose. So that's one tip or trick you could use when you're doing your own weaving. The shuttle is the tool that I am currently using with my weft thread. I'm pushing it through using that nifty shed bar. The shed bar is designed so it's sort of high on one side and low on the other, and it alternates. And the idea is that depending on which way I flip it, it'll change the position of the string to be higher or lower. And so it helps you alternate and push the shuttle bar through rather than having to literally weave in and out of each individual strand. So it makes life a lot easier. So I highly recommend getting a proper loom like this. Yeah, it is just so much easier. I'm currently doing some tassels. Now tassels are done by taking a piece of string and folding it sort of over and around two of the warp threads, and then sort of pulling them back up and through the middle. Now that wasn't very well explained. I have a video in the description box below of where I learnt some weaving tips and tricks from a guy that really knows his stuff. So you can check that out if you want to see him actually give you a proper tutorial of how to do it. But it just adds something a little bit more interesting to your weave, and it's very simple and quick and easy to do. So yeah, I really liked that. What else did I want to talk about? I think that's pretty much it now. The rest of it's just going to be me weaving in and out, in and out. I add some tassels at the bottom. At one point I poked through some string and made a bow. I made a tiny pom-pom for the front of it as well out of some of that fiber yarn. So you can just sort of create little things and then literally just stitch them on top of the weave, you know, which makes things a little bit more interesting. There I am using the fiber. Because I didn't want to push it all the way through, I didn't use a shuttle. I just used my fingers because it was just nice and easy at that point. Oh no, I am using a shuttle here, and with great difficulty. That's right. I remember now. I made this last night, okay? So yeah, so there's some interesting facts and tips and tricks that I hope are useful to you should you want to make your own. I really recommend you do. It only takes a couple of hours. It's not a particularly long, it's not like crochet where you could spend a few days trying to make a project. It's just really quick and simple and a great little wall decoration, might make a good housewarming gift, that kind of thing. I do also have here that plastic needle. It's a wool and yarn needle, and it just made life a little bit easier. Yeah, it's pretty good. So, I guess I should talk about some random things. This video is going to be a really long video because it was a few hours worth of work that I am trying to fast forward here, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm also really tired. I've had a big day. I've had a big few weeks at work actually, and I'm just feeling particularly drained right now. So mentally and emotionally just kind of bleh. So I apologize for that as well. Another tutorial I really want to do on the channel is another crochet tutorial, but like a proper tutorial. Like my baby poncho tutorial, how I actually showed you how to make it step by step, rather than just this sort of sped up time warp version of me doing some craft. So I would like to do one on how to make like a crochet hat out of that raffia straw stuff. So I am considering that in the future. I also have a convention coming up in a couple of weeks, and I will be cosplaying as Diva, God willing, Baby Diva. I'm not wearing the full tight bodysuit spandex thing she's got going on. I'm making a slight adjustment to her outfit, and I'll be making a dress as part of it. So I still have to sew that, and I'm also going to make her headphones out of cardboard. So I will hopefully have a video of how I make all that coming up as well. So there's a few crafty things in the works on the channel. I know they're quite few and far between because they are quite tedious and also quite difficult to film. And it's just so easy to just whip out a video game video, you know, like they're just so quick and easy to make. So apologies, these are few and far between, but you have one today, so yay. What else? Yes, I'm currently on a mini break weekend. I've got a long weekend. So today I went shopping with my mother, and I bought, my local video game store was having a sale, buy two get one free on a whole bunch of pre-owned stuff. So I got Detroit Become Human, which I've been wanting to play and have not had the chance. And then they also had two pre-owned Nintendo Switch controllers. Now I have the classic neon blue and red, that came with the console. I got the neon blue and red console. And then I bought the neon yellow pair shortly after. So I wanted 4 controllers so I can, you know, play with my family and stuff. And then what did I do? Oh, and I've got 2 Pro controllers, although one of them is currently at a friend's house. And the other Pro controller, so one of them I got for my birthday a couple of years ago, and then the other one I got as part of the Ultimate box set for Super Smash Brothers. So now I finally got the pink and green pair. So my local game store, when you like return controllers or try and sell them back secondhand, they sell them pre-owned, but with Nintendo Switch controllers, they sell them separately, not in their pairs. Because you can sort of return one, you don't have to return both or whatever. But they had, in separate packets, one green and one pink from the green and pink Splatoon set. And I was like, yes, they're the missing set for my Neon collection. So I splurged. So it ended up being that I paid for Detroit Become Human on one controller, and then the other controller was free, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I feel like I kind of scored today. And I also got like a nice dress and a nice headband. I did a bit of girly shopping as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with my gaming purchases for today. Also, I won a competition recently. I follow a YouTuber called Critics Zeus. You might know him, especially if you watch anything that I play on the channel, because I know he's played a lot of similar games to me, and he's been around for years and years. I've been watching his content, and I really enjoy it. And he's also a Twitch streamer, and I was watching a video the other day. He was having a competition in celebration of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice being released. The makers From Software and publishers Activision, between Critic Zeus and another YouTuber, they had a competition. And it was live streamed the other night to see who could, I think it was defeat the first two bosses, who could do it first or the quickest. And whoever did, one of their subscribers would win a PlayStation 4 Pro that was like designed with like the Sekiro logo, and it looked all old-fashioned and cool, and it was just like a pretty design. Anyway, so the condition was that they had to beat the other person, and then the person, one of the subscribers who guessed how long it would take for that person to complete the challenge, if their time was the closest, they would win the console. I hope that made any sense whatsoever, because that was really confusing to try and explain. Anyway, so I submitted an entry. I just thought, oh yeah, why not? Give it a go. It was open to Australian and New Zealand residents only. I can't even remember the time, I guess. I think it was 3 minutes and like 15 or 3:20 or something. Sorry, 3 minutes, 3 hours. Anyway, and he didn't win. The other fella won. The other fella won the competition, the defeating the two bosses. So one of his subscribers got the PlayStation. However, Critic Zeus messaged me on Twitter and said, hey, even though I didn't win, I still wanted to give a copy of the game itself to someone who, to the person who guessed the closest time that it took for me to complete the game. And he's, complete the competition, sorry. And he said that was me. So if I didn't already have the game, he would give me a copy on whatever platform that I wanted, which just blew me away. I was not expecting that, like, at all. So that was very exciting. So I have a copy of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice coming, and I'll be honest, I've been watching a lot of the gameplay, and it looks like a great game, but I am not the kind of person who likes to bang their head against a brick wall for fun. So I've never really played any of the Souls games. Bloodborne, Dark Souls, anything like that is not really my cup of tea. I've never played one. So I'll be interested to play it. I have a friend of mine who likes them, so he might be able to come over and get some use out of the game as well. But I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. I do like a challenge. So yeah. I just really want to give it a go. I've never done it before. Who knows? Maybe I'll really like it. I'm not opposed to it. So what else? Oh, I've been getting really into Assassin's Creed lately as well. I purchased Assassin's Creed Odyssey for my PC, and I've been really enjoying that. It's a lot more RPG-like than previous Assassin's games. I couldn't get into Origins, just didn't tickle my fancy. I tried really hard, but just couldn't do it. So I was hesitant to get Odyssey, but then I got it and I loved it. So I'm happy with that. What else have I been up to? I'm just going through my list because we've only got a couple of minutes left. I've actually written a long list because I thought this was going to take me a really long time. Like, I would have to try and find more things to talk about, but the video's just kind of flown by. My new computer, by the way, rendered our last video in half the time. So normally it takes about an hour to render a video, but my previous video, it took half an hour. So that was really exciting. because usually it means that I can't play my computer or do anything for a few hours while I'm waiting for sort of like the computer to try and do its thing. So I was really, really stoked about that. So yeah. Anyway, we're nearing the end of the video, so thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and I'll catch you all next time, whether it be a video game or a craft video or anything in between. Bye!